All right, this is recording.
From Christina's A14.
This is recording 692. Okay, so again, you can find me at ChristinaStacia918.com. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is do another recording. Okay, so another thing she did, Jean Jernigan Roberts, in her pre-planning to do the World Trade Center attack. Okay, so she committed terrorism, terrorism, and then she planned after that to commit tourism, tourism. Now, she used ice on my stepdad, Jeff, okay, and I knew that she did it. I immediately was like, oh my God, she used ice on him. But anyway, he used to have a job in Sedona, and he did the pink Jeep tours. So, which is something really cool in Sedona. But again, she used ice on him. You know, Jean drives a black Jeep. So Jean thought that would be funny to have him doing that. And then, you know what? That tears apart Sedona. She did that to him. And then what she does present day in her tourism is she has people come in and out. People fly here. People drive here. People travel underground here to Tulsa, Oklahoma, or wherever I'm at. And Jean puts on little shows. She gives them a song and dance and sob story and lies. And then she tries to get money from people. And they all do like little razzle dazzle stunts. And they all think they're like super cool and sneaky and famous. And she tricks people into doing shit. And then they find out while they're here, oh my God, because people warn people. Jean Jernigan Roberts is a terrorist. She's the one who did the World Trade Center attack. And now she's got you looking like, shut up and take my money, is what she's doing to you. Okay, and I think she even ice sprayed or lion sprayed that phrase, shut up and take my money. She's literally conning people. Now, the sickos, they cling to her. They're all about it, but everybody else gets out of it. And then also her putting in curse words in my sentences all the time. You know how she loves to say F you, F you, F you. And she always puts curse words in my sentences. Okay, so there is a disorder for that, okay, which I don't have a disorder. She's controlling my speech. But there's a disorder that she's taken advantage of, which I think she named. I mean, you can't say she didn't name it. You can dang tell she did name it. And it's called Tourette's syndrome, where people just break out into uncontrollable cursing and stuff. And what are the initials? T.S. Eliot. So she did that to people, disabled people. Jean Jernigan Roberts. So, okay, so switching subjects and moving forward. So here's more. So there's a famous singer called... she's a famous R&B singer. She's an older R&B singer. Her name is Mary Wells. Okay. And Jean used her name also. So this is how this breaks down. So Mary Wells goes to Dale Wells. And you can see instantly the M and the D, mad. And then you can see my first husband's name was Mario and his mom's name was Mary Lou. So I'm keeping Mary Wells on my Spotify. I'm going to tell you this in a minute. But I've changed it to Wells Fargo because I want my family to have new lives and I want Jean Jernigan Roberts arrested. So anyway, and reparations, of course. So, I mean, that's what this is for. Jean's arrest, save her planet, rescue people she's got held hostage. No, I'm not talking about her and her little Jeffrey Dahmer people. I want all of them electrocuted. All of her little freak show freaking friends. And all her little nasty people that run around and commit, well, they're just like them. Just because they haven't cut people literally into tiny little pieces doesn't mean they haven't done that by stalking the ever shit out of everyone, including stalking the ever shit out of you, Christina. So, and they're talking to me, Christina. I'm Christina Stacia. So that's what they are. They're literally little Jeffrey Dahmers. They're running child trafficking rings. They're abusing children, making money off of it. They're making up lies. And their lies are like all over the place. And they're chopping people up into little teeny tiny pieces. And all that matters is that they get away with it. So anyway, so see all codes. So this tells you the psychopath that Jean Roberts is, because remember, I first decoded her stalking Dale Wells. Dale Wells is the same age I am. Okay, but that means she was stalking him from when he was little in Chicago, from when I was little in Globe, Arizona, because of that painting. So that tells you how long ago she was stalking him. So also, and how long ago she was stalking my first husband's side of the family. So anyway, I put Mary Wells, my guy, on my Spotify. Also, another thing is, remember the movie My Girl? And I think it had Macaulay Culkin in it. And the little girl kind of looks like me when I was little. Because I noticed it right away when I first saw the movie. And people kept putting it in my brain constantly. And I think Macaulay Culkin was in it. And he was in Home Alone. So you can see that she used ice on him. And she'll tell you a million different lies and everything else. But I got so upset when I was decoding what she did. I decoded her stalking of Macaulay Culkin. I decoded her stalking of me. I decoded her stalking of several celebrities' families. And you guys all know who I'm talking about. All the families. She stalked every single one of them. And I got so upset that I was like, the only person I could think that could even like speak for Macaulay Culkin that could come anywhere near kicking the planet's ass would be like Eminem. But anyway, I wrote it down. I was so emotional, upset. I'm like, and then he came on and told me I'm not, which would probably make Macaulay Culkin. He came on. And this was years ago. This was when I was in Texas. It was like, no, I think it was in, I already met Eminem and AI and Mental Telepathy when I was in Texas. I think it was when I was in Oklahoma City. I think is when it was. And he was like, he basically was like, she's telling me this, and I know that is not true. It was before you downloaded all the books. Well, I don't have all the books downloaded. I tried to download them. I tried to watermark them so she couldn't steal them, which broke my heart. But I didn't know what else to do. I was trying to keep Jean from stealing my decode. So, but it was before he could see what was going on. But he came on. He was like, and Jean is saying, and what? And I'm like, well, and he's like, no. And oh my God. And it was so anyway, he's like, no, no. And then you know what's so funny? Now what has she forced all of Hollywood to do? And Gene Roberts is the perp. Gene is the child predator perp. And she's running around in her fake ass Save the Children campaign, hiding that she's been, trafficking and buying and selling and the kiddos for 60 years. And she wants to now save all the children. And what does she have Hollywood forced him to do, which I imagine has got Eminem even crankier than hell. So anyway, he's probably like burnt out at this place, probably like, good God, somebody arrest Gene. But anyway, that was funny back because he's like, what? No. But anyway, okay, so, all right, so anyway, when I said I was going to put it my guy on my Spotify, I had something I was going to do with it, and I have it on my Spotify. My Spotify is Scorpio71. Jean keeps stealing songs from my playlist and keeps claiming it's hers. She doesn't want everybody to know that she's in her late 80s. She wants everybody to think that she's just young and trendy. I'm 54. I mean, she goes between, it's just ridiculous. I'm not even going to go down to what she freaking does to people. She's fucking sick. And if people want to freaking follow her, please stop rambling me. So anyway, while I was talking about putting the song on my playlist, she was in my brain in her little voice. And the voice she was using was like like a vulgar young female's voice. And then she goes, I'm gonna steal it and I'm gonna change it. She was telling her friends what she was gonna do. Her little rape a kid posse. So anyway, so I'm like, she's literally like on perping, planning to steal it while I am like using this for turning in Gene for my family. So anyway, this is what I was going to do with the song, which is what I'm still going to do, is I've got it changed to where it is the cartel, where it is my family singing about the cartel singing threats at Gene. Like my family is going, we know people, you're in trouble, Gene. It's not a joke. You need to stop stalking people. So anyway, okay, so next up on this is something else Gene did. Okay, so AIW 1970. So my mom, Clayanne, and two of her very best friends from when I was little, Tom and Sharon. Okay, so note their initials, TS right there. T.S. Eliot. Okay, so see all code. I could write a book on her stalking of Tom and Sharon, Gene Jernigan Roberts. Okay, there's so many ciphers. It's freaking everywhere. Okay, this is another family that was like another one of her model families that she was trying to control. And she wrote demonic ciphers around them also. She wrote demonic ciphers around all of us. But she used them as like an Addams Family theme. Okay, and you've heard that from my previous recordings. And she's using them as like little Charles Manson characters. But anyway, so Sharon had 3 kids, okay? So Sharon had Stephen, the older boy, and then Holly, Holly was older, and then Steven. I can't even remember now. I can't remember who was older. Holly and Steven, and then there was a littler kid, okay? And the littler kid, I can't remember what his freaking name was. I keep wanting to call him Ernie, and I keep thinking of Chip from freaking My 3 Sons. It's in my head. I can't remember the littlest one. But anyway, so I was little. I was in grade school. Holly was in grade school. She was in a couple grades older than me. I think Steven probably had just hit Steven had to be the older one. He had to be in late grade school or the very beginning of junior high. So anyway, it's his bike that I got, that I borrowed, where I learned how to ride a bike. It was his bike. Okay. So anyway, so see all code on all of that. So note what she did with Tom and Sharon's kids' names. So Stephen and Holly, their initials S and H. And you know, Jean loves her some Stevens. Okay. She also loves her some Hollies too. Okay. So when I was little, living in the first house in Globe, Holly Hobby was really popular. And she used Holly Hobby, and you know the initials of Holly Hobby, HH. She used my Holly Hobby toys and wrote demonic ciphers around those. Okay. And then she changed it into Hobie Cat. And then she wrote demonic ciphers around Hobie Cat, which is a surfing brand. Okay. So anyway, so my three sons, so if you go look up My Three Sons, this is just freaking unreal. So if you go look up the TV show My Three Sons, there's a lot here. You're going to want to go do the research. You're going to freak out. So Stephen Douglas. So there's another Stephen, no surprise there. And then look at the initials there, SD, sad. And then, so it's going from mad and sad and SH that she always uses. Okay. Then Douglas, Arizona. There's a town called Douglas, Arizona. And then she's also using Douglas fir, which is a conifer, CONIFER. Okay, there's also a Rocky Mountain Douglas fir. Okay, and then these are, and I don't know what this means, but it's in there, and I see it instantly. PINUS Taxifolia lamb, LAMB. TAXIFOLIA, and then lamb, LAMB. Also, it's a spruce, see all code on spruce. And then it's also PICEA, which is, that's going to this plant. She's using that too. So she's using peace, but another thing that she's using that goes to this is pica. Okay. So pica is another disorder. I had pica when I was little in grade school. I used to chew on pencils. Now I freaking know why, because she raped me with the freaking pencil when I was 2 months old. I literally chewed the shit out of pencils. I chewed the shit out of my arm, and I chewed the shit out of pencils. Like I chewed them. Anyway, I would chew paper. I constantly was chewing paper. Okay, so when you have a disorder eating strange things, like some people eat toilet paper, some people eat ice. I think she tricked people into eating ice thinking that she was cute. And I'm like, you know, trying to like MK Ultra me, like, let me go back and trip out as I was a kid, chewing paper and eating it. Or she was ice raping people, ice raping somebody to eat ice. Jean would think that would be funny too. So anyway, that's called pica. So she did that too. So then also in this is pseudo, PSEUDOTSUGA, which means false hemlock. So she's bragging in advance, okay? She had already abused me with the pencil at 2 months old. Okay. And so now this is early grade school. So she's bragging in advance of getting away with abusing me when I got a little bit older, right at the beginning of junior high. Still a little kid. In one of her child abuse rings. And she was running me in a baseball sex trafficking Ponzi is what she was doing, which she still traffics babies, kids, and adults. But you guys already know all that. So I'm saying she's bragging in advance of herself lying. and covering her own ass, and then her lying about me and bragging about getting away with it, all with this false hemlock. And then also another thing at their house, Steven, I'm just going to call him, not Steven, but I'm going to call the other kid Chip, his little brother. They'll probably laugh. They'd be like, oh my God. But they would probably laugh. Oh my God. These freaking Globe Miami kids. Anyway, so the Chip kid, the littler brother, it was either him or it was Steven, had a, which I decoded all the ciphers around this too, which Gene Jernigan Roberts used too. Okay, had an Evel Knievel. Okay, and then that's around the time that the TV show, The $6 Million Man, came out, and then Lindsay Wagner came out with The Bionic Woman. And then I grow up, and then I marry Ben, my third husband. And then as I'm getting to know Ben, falling in love with him, I find out that his first love's name is Lindsay. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And now I know even more than that what Gene did. And Gene tried to blame it on music, which isn't going to cut it. Nope, wasn't music. There's nobody on that can talk to you that's in music. It was not them that did that at all. That was Gene Jernigan Roberts ciphers. That was not them. And he can talk to them. Because I know that Gene did it because she wanted to use them as a cover. Oh, it was just a band. She tried to blame the Eagles. Gene Jernigan Roberts. The Eagles did not abuse Ben. That was Gene and her Charles Manson sisters. And they abused artists' children too. It's not just Christina that's been abused. And it's not just Christina's family or friends, because it's all Christina's family, friends. She has literally spent 60 years. Okay, stop talking through me. Because what you do is you get off on your little pontification shit, trying to please Gene Jernigan Roberts, and then you steal everything you're saying about me, and you're applying it somewhere else, and you go off in your little lion, witch, and wardrobe world and go spread even more lies. So anyway, okay, so she's bragging about doing that. So then the main characters in My Three Sons are Mike, okay, aged 18, and Robbie, aged 14, and Chip, aged 7, and Tramp the dog. Okay, so note, okay, Gene Roberts, so she's using that, okay, and note his name is Robbie, age 14, and then note the initials CRM, and then note Charles Manson's son's name is what? Michael. And Gene Roberts' ex-husband's name is what? Michael Roberts. Okay. And then the show came out 1960 and ran to 1972, so you can do all the date decode on that. Also in the CRM, what she also used here was, okay, there's a band called Cream, okay, which is from the 60s or 70s. She also made a reference to creamed corn using My Three Sons. Okay, and then the orange bowl. My mom had an orange bowl with cream corn, and I freaking hate cream corn. I cannot stand it. And my mom would be like, you have to eat all your dinner, and if you don't eat all your dinner, you're going to sit at the table until you eat all your dinner. And then I would sit there and not eat the cream corn. And then my mom would be like, okay, I give up. You're going to bed. And when you get up tomorrow, when it's time to eat, the cream corn will be waiting for you. So the combination of the cream corn, which that probably also goes to the Children of the Corn, see all decode on the Children of the Corn. Okay. And then, which that's already upsetting people because they didn't even realize that either. Oh my God. No, it's not. Stop talking through Christina. Stop, all of you. So anyway, that's it. And no, she's out of line. No, I'm making a recording right now. Please do not talk through me. They're getting upset. They're sorry to you, Miss Christine Stacia. Okay, so you have a right to be upset, but let me make the recording and let me make reports against Jean. Okay, so no, Jean, you're not going to sit and act like you're not guilty. You literally admit to doing this, but it depends on who you're talking to, right? So, anyway, Spanish-American War. Okay, so I decoded the Spanish-American War. And that was in the Spanish-American War, Spanish cream. So she's making a reference to that also. She's also making a reference to Flan, Seal Code Flan, and Seal Code Annie. Okay. And then another memory I have of them, Sharon and Tom, was them playing a game, okay, a quote-unquote a game of Twister. So that was the Signs of the Future. Okay, like what she's playing right now, playing a game, and she's taking everything I say and she's spreading it into lies and trying to make money. And then, okay, now moving ahead, okay, next subject. Okay, so another thing is, okay, Gene Roberts, I decoded all of this. Gene Jernigan Roberts took John F. Kennedy Jr.'s life. Gene Jernigan Roberts took Robert Kennedy, the first Robert Kennedy Jr., she took his life. Okay, so anyway, see all code on all of it. Okay, so my Aunt Polly, my great Aunt Polly, was a nurse at Parkland Hospital where he was taken after he was shot. Okay, so she's also stalking my great aunts. Okay, so my only two great aunts that I remember are my great aunt that I was named after, Christine, my great aunt Christine. Okay, and you know what she did with that? She used the Stephen King, Christine. There's so much Stephen King, the Gene using ice syrup on me, it wraps around my entire life. There's so many Stephen King novels. CL code on everything. Okay, so Polly and Christine. Okay, so Aunt Polly. All right, so AP, Associated Press. Okay, she's using that as a zodiac. Gene Jernigan Roberts is using that as a zodiac sign. She's bragging about taking John F. Kennedy Jr.'s life, okay? And then if you put in Christine and Polly, that's peace. See all code on peace. That goes to a lot of murder that Gene Roberts has committed. Okay, so anyway, also continuing on, see the PC code in My Three Sons too. Okay, so she also did this to Jacqueline Kennedy. Okay, when I first decoded her taking their lives, I decoded her committing a lot of crime, her murdering a lot of people. Gene has blamed it on everybody. Gene Jernigan Roberts did it. I decoded it. And she's even admitted to it. Now, I don't care if she thinks she successfully passed the blame on anybody else, including the mob. I don't care. Gene Jernigan Roberts is the one who did it. I don't care about all the... Gene Jernigan Roberts did it, Charles Manson. And she did it all as a part of this World Dominion plot. Because it's important for you not to allow Gene Jernigan Roberts to lie about committing these crimes. All these crimes are connected, and it's all a part of her Alice in Wonderland plot since Genesis. And in case I call her out for all that, which I've figured it all out and I've got her called out, she's got lies about Alice in Wonderland too to cover all that up. She's just one lie ring after the other. She hurt people and killed people on purpose to hurt people again in the future and then silence them. She wants to re-hurt people. So, anyway, it all goes back to the beginning of Genesis. So, what she did with Jacqueline Kennedy, Okay, which I already know this. I never talk about it because it kills me. Okay, so I'm just noting this right here. She used piece of cake, Jean Jernigan Roberts, piece of cake, because there's the PC because of the cake box color. Okay, now what I've done since then is, this is 9 years in. I've decoded this years ago when I lived in Slidell, and I decoded more of it like last year, and I still decode little bits here and there. But like my purse, my last purse I had before this, I called it my little CIA purse. I love it. It had a clock on it. It's so cool. I'm like, I earned this purse. I decoded this. I am like, trying to keep myself positive until I can get Jean turned in. What did she do? She broke in and broke my purse. She broke the snaps on the top of it. She broke the hands off the clock. So African Americans told me, okay, well, let's look at this another way. Jean Roberts is going to eventually be arrested. Look at this as for reparations, trying to get me to stay positive. So I buy another purse, this purse that I have currently, which is gorgeous. I'm like, this is so pretty. I need something really, really pretty and elegant because my life is just such a mess. I have to stay so tough and so strong in turning in this terrorist bitch. I'm like, I'm going to get this for Jacqueline Kennedy. So what did Jean Roberts do? She got a hold of my purse. I'll take a picture of it and post it online. And rip the handle of it open. And it's disgusting. And she knows what she did. And she knows that I know that she took Kennedy's life. She just thinks she got it covered and she'll get away with it. So anyway, so what Jean did to my aunts also, so the other thing that makes me sad and angry is Jean committed all these crimes while my mom was crying in school when John F. Kennedy Jr. died. She was crying. Jean, on the other hand, was out freaking learning to freaking kill. And like she said, like she told people back then, and she's still that way today. She said, when I grow up, I want to be a demon. Well, I think you've accomplished that, Jean. So anyway, I heard her saying it in my brain. Somebody recorded it and played it for me in my brain. That's Jean saying that a long time ago. When I grow up, I want to be a demon. So anyway, so this all goes to her Alice in Wonderland World Terror plot, okay? So she wants to hurt people over because she wants civil war, another civil war. She wants to break apart the United States government. So how can you create a civil war? Hurt people on purpose and get them so mad and so upset that people freak out and lash out. And that's exactly what she's trying to do. So people are very, very mad and angry, but but because they know that's Jean Roberts' agenda to try to cause another civil war and to break down the United States government, people are looking for every way possible to not have this happen. But Jean keeps claiming the United States government gave her permission to crash the United States government and to cause civil war by breaking people's hearts all over again. And I told you, Jean is the Queen of Hearts. She killed people on purpose to hurt them again. This is important facts for people to know. It's not, well, let's just call this listen, tell a lie, and do the same old thing. We know the truth now, but let's just lie. No, this is all a part of her global dominion plot. And plus, why would you cover for her? She needs to go to jail. So anyway, all right, so this also goes to the cake. Notice it's a cake box color. Okay, what is Jean obsessed with? Jean is obsessed with food and drink because that goes with her, and that's why how she's been trafficking babies, kids, and adults for 60 years with food. That goes to her eat me, drink me. She thinks she's freaking cute trafficking people or making up lies about people. Why? So she can fucking traffic them. So I don't know why anybody has anything to do with her at all. So anyway, also note in this, the eat me, drink me, somebody pointed out, and I know this goes back because I've watched TV back to the early 1900s. Remember I told you I even went through the silent movies. I went through everything to see how far back from when Hollywood started to see if this is inside old, and it's in everything, okay? It's all pre-planned. I'm not saying Hollywood did it. I said Gene Roberts hides underneath everyone. So please do not start telling even more goddamn lies because I'm sick of it. So anyway, the initials for E and D, well, the E and D is the reverse of Delaware, which is the first state. The E and D, Mr. Ed. And then what did he sing? A horse is a horse, of course, of course. And what's Jean got? She's got a whole teaching fetish thing. Course is a part of that. And, you know, course is also a part of the ins and outs, the outlets, and all of that. All her Columbus theme that she uses in committing terrorism. So, I'm sorry. She's desperately trying to like cast blame all everywhere, using my body robotically while I'm trying to make reports against her, and I'm just ignoring her lying ass. So anyway, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So then here's something else that sticks in my brain. This is probably a sign for the future. And this is from my mom's side of the family. This is precious. Jean Jernigan Roberts, you're not my mom. Stop trying to control my speech so you can force your way in and act like you're my mother. You're Barry Stacey's ex-girlfriend. You're not related to me. Go pay attention to your son, Jesse. So anyway, my mom has this funny memory of high school when she got in really big trouble because she got caught wearing pants in school. She used to sneak pants under her skirts, and then she would change from her skirts to her pants. And then my grandpa was the principal of Chandler High School, and so she would avoid him, you know, like so she wouldn't get caught wearing pants. So, but she got caught wearing pants to school. So anyway, it's a cute, precious memory. So anyway, the cute thing is this is a sign in the future. I know it is. Like, be ready for the future. Be ready, my mom, Clan. Be ready to kick some ass in the future. The gloves got to go off. Jean Jernigan Roberts has got to go to jail. So anyway, and one last thing I wanted to say, which I don't really feel like saying that. It's not any evidence or decode. I was just processing what people must be thinking. So, and what they're thinking is they want to place orders at the White House. Okay, and that means place orders for attacking Jean Jernigan Roberts in the future. Another thing that Jean Roberts did was she also, in her planning to frame the Marines, and she loves to blame the Marines. She thinks that, you know, they're just going to just protect the hell out of her. But you can tell a very long time ago, she tried hard to con the Marines, and would have been very easy to do back in the 60s. She's a leader of Charles Manson. What do you think she freaking used back then? What do you think she desperately tries still so hard today to use? And she's at her wit's end because she doesn't have anything left except to use AI, CGI, and spread freaking lies and pretend to be people she's not to get her. So anyway, so okay, so Jean used Semper Fi in her 9/11 plot. Notice Semper Fi has September in it. Okay, she's also using the word siphoning. Okay, she's an embezzler. Okay, and I make note of everything financial. I've got it noted. And so when Gene Roberts gets arrested, I can say, let's go through my accounts. I can show you all the money Gene robbed from me. And let me show you all the businesses she also robbed. That's not counting the ATMs and the banks she robbed or the cartel safe that she robbed. So what she does is siphoning. Even that is Charles Manson knick-knack paddywhack that she used. That way she tries to hide it under the military and blame the military. But you can tell just by the word siphoning that she tried to frame the military. So siphoning, note, has the word phone in it, silent war, and then symphony, and then psych. Okay, siphoning. It also has sci-fi in it. So anyway, and she also used 2 T's in my name too. My last name is Statia, Statia. So she's making religious references and then she's being sacrilegious. But I mean, she's a Satanist. Well, my name is just Christina Statia. Okay, so my bloodline and my family line is very precious to me. Okay, I love my name, but I'm saying she tears up everybody's name the same way. But I just noticed she even used that in my name. She just tears up everything about me my entire life. So that's the end of this recording.